right. Well, hey, good morning. Welcome to Storytime Adventure. And today we're telling tall tales. And I have Coyote with me today because our story is about Pecos Bill. And the legend says that Pecos Bill was raised by coyotes, just like Coyote here, right here. He was lost by his family, and a pack of coyotes raised Pecos Bill from when he was just a baby. That's a pretty interesting story. So Coyote here is pretty happy about that. He said, "Yeah, we raised Pecos Bill." So that's why Pecos Bill is wearing his bandana and I'm wearing my cowboy bandana because it's a cowboy story. So if you're ready, we're going to tell the tall tale of Pecos Bill. And so I'm going to change my camera so that you can see all the wonderful pictures in this story. So here we go, Pecos Bill. There you go. Okay, there is my storybook, Pecos Bill. And there he is when he was kind of young. And his rope was actually a rattlesnake. So let's hear the whole story. And this is kind of a Western story. Look at that. There's a lot of animals and a lot of mountains and a lot of trees because it took place out west. And they traveled there in a covered wagon. And in this picture, it looks like Pecos Bill is feeding some honey to the big grizzly bears. Oh my goodness. That looks a little dangerous. Oh, there it is. There's their wagon train and the big forest and the mountains in the background. Oh, and what's this up here? It's an eagle. So Pecos Bill by Stephen Kellogg. There they are. Wow. Back in the rugged pioneer days when Pecos Bill was a baby, his kinfolks decided that New England, back out east, was entirely too crowded. So they piled into a covered wagon and headed west. Whoa, that looks like a desert. What do you think? There's some longhorn cattle over here. There's the wagon train there. That's a long trip. That was way before there was even cars or anything like that. They just couldn't jump into a car and drive across on a highway. They had to make their own roads. There we go. Whoa. As they crossed the Pecos River, there's Bill right there on top of the wagon. Bill threw out a fishing line. Looks like he was just a little baby, but he was fishing already. He threw out a fishing line, and when a Texas trout nibbled, Bill was yanked overboard. Oh no! Look, there's this big long fishing line, and there's the big fish pulled him right into the river. He was towed downstream and would have drowned if it wasn't for an old coyote that grabbed him. See, I helped. I saved Pecos Bill. Yes, you did. Okay, so a coyote pulled him out of the river. Oh, look, there's that coyote pulling Bill out of the river. Her family adopted Bill and taught him the ways of wild creatures. Oh, looks like that's a cave. What do you think? It does. It looks like that's a cave, and that's where Bill is living with a bunch of coyote cubs. Whoa. Or pups, I mean. There we go. Wow. By the time Bill had outgrown his breeches, that's another name for pants, he felt like a member of the coyote pack. Oh, look, there he is. What are they doing? All of them are howling at the moon. He loved to romp with his coyote brothers, and as he grew older, sometimes he even played with the bighorn sheep. Oh my goodness, what are they doing over there? They are jumping from rock pile to rock pile across the river. Whoa! He really learned how to do crazy, wild things. One day, a drifter named Chuck stumbled across Bill while he was taking a nap. Oh, can you see where he is? He's right there. He's all curled up on the other side of a rock. He doesn't have any clothes on because he outgrew his breeches. He's taking a nap. And so he asked Bill what he what he meant by snoozing in the brush without his trousers on, and Bill tried to explain to Chuck that he was a coyote. See, Bill really thought he was a coyote because the coyotes took care of him. Horse feathers, said Chuck. You're a Texan just like me. So there they are swimming in the river. Bill decided to give life as a Texan a try, and he borrowed Chuck's extra clothes and asked him a lot of questions. Look, he's getting to ride on the horse, and Chuck is running alongside. There we go. What? They're running and running. And so, let's see. Chuck told him all about Texas and how to be a rancher. A lot of people in Texas had ranches. But to tell the truth, said Chuck, most Texans are flea-bitten outlaws, and the worst of them is that Hell's Gulch gang. But even they would be okay if they'd become ranchers and herd longhorns that wander whereabouts. Ranching sounded good to Bill, so he headed for Hell's Gulch, determined to get the whole gang involved in ranching. Okay, well, there's some longhorns. And there's Chuck, and there's Bill, and they're talking about being a ranch hands. And let's see what happens. But Bill's plans were interrupted when he was ambushed by a giant rattlesnake. Yeah, I thought so. Look at that. I can take and trace my finger around that rock, and I see the rattles and everything. Oh no, a big giant rattlesnake looking right at him. What's happening? And they were ambushed by a rattlesnake. So when Bill dodged the rattlesnake's fangs, it slapped its coils all around him. Oh, I can barely see Bill in there. Look at that. There's his foot. There's the rattlesnake's head. There's Bill's head. Oh, he's being crushed by a rattlesnake. The snake squeezed Bill hard, but Bill squeezed back even harder and didn't let up until every drop of poison was squeezed out of that reptile, leaving that snake as skinny as a rope and as mild as a goldfish. What? You squeeze the snake. There's a little drop of poison dripping out of the snake. And that snake was really long, but now it's all skinny. It looks just like a rope. Oh my goodness. Then before Bill could catch his breath, he was tackled by a critter that was part grizzly, part puma, part gorilla, and part tarantula. What is even that? Oh my goodness, that is a crazy looking creature. You know, I read another tale about Bill, and it said that he ran into a wildcat. So there's a lot of crazy stories about Bill. But this one was part grizzly, part puma, part gorilla, and part tarantula. Oh my goodness, look at all those legs. Look at all those teeth. I don't even know what that is. They wrestled up and down the canyon and kicked up quite a dust storm before the monster finally became dizzy and had to quit. There's Bill right on top of him. Oh my goodness. No one had ever tangled with those two varmints before, the rattlesnake and the puma gorilla. I don't know, tarantula, whatever. So when Bill met up with the Hell's Gulch gang, they were thunderstruck. Oh, there's the Hell's Gulch gang. And there's Bill with a rattlesnake and a crazy wild monster-y looking thing. Whoa. And so Bill asked, whose outfit is this? Who's the boss of this outfit? Asked Bill. I was, mumbled Gunsmith, but now you is. Because they were so impressed that Bill tackled that critter. Bill told the gang that he was going to turn every last one of them into respectable ranch hands. But the men claimed that Texas cattle were too ornery to ever put up with, and they wouldn't be very good at ranching. But Bill had a sudden inspiration and approached the longhorn that was sulking nearby. Ooh, that longhorn doesn't look very happy. What's Bill gonna do? He's got his rattlesnake rope. Oh my goodness. Just as the bull whirled around and trampled him, to try to trample him, Bill snagged him with the rattlesnake rope and yanked with all his might, and cattle roping had just been invented. Oh, there he is. I guess if you wanted to be a rancher, you had to learn how to rope a cow or a cattle or a longhorn. Bill scared that bull out of his skin, and with a blood curdling coyote howl, arr, see, I don't know how to do that. With a blood curdling coyote howl, that bull was really scared and embarrassed. The embarrassed creature hightailed it off to grow a new coat. And while Bill cut the hide into strips and passed them out to the other men to use as lassos. Yeah, so he scared, Bill scared the skin out of that one longhorn, and then he used that skin to make ropes for his other ranch hands. Oh my goodness. Yep, so they could go out and lasso some more longhorns. Oh my goodness. The cowboys and cattle tangled in a rough and tumble hullabaloo that is remembered to this day as the first Western rodeo. Wow, I can't even tell what they're all doing in there. Look at all those cows and look at all those men running around trying to lasso all the cattle, butting heads over here, down here. Whoa, my goodness. When it ended, the gang declared that they would be cowboys forever, and they promised to help Bill round up every steer in Texas. Wow. Here we go. Bill needed a horse to ride. Of course you do if you're a cowboy, right? And he needed it for the big roundup. Well, said Chuck, there's a wild stallion up in the mountains that some folks call Lightning, and others think its name is Widowmaker. And that suits him better, but no matter what you call him, he's the fastest, most beautiful horse in the world. They're telling stories around the campfire about the beautiful horse. Bill went off in search of Lightning, and as soon as he saw him, Bill knew that he found his horse, that he had found a horse for himself. Look at that. Wow, pretty horse. Still got his rattlesnake rope. Oh my goodness, how's he going to catch Lightning? Bill chased Lightning north to the Arctic Circle. Ooh, it's really cold up there. And south to the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Whoa, he's still chasing that horse. Oh, look over here. And finally, he cornered the stallion and jumped onto his back. And Lightning exploded from the cannon and he exploded from the canyon, leaping and bucking across 3 states. Whoa. Oh my goodness, he's still trying to hold on to that horse. And when Bill began to sing in the language he'd learned from the Coyote family, he sang of his admiration for the stallion's strength and promised him a lifetime of partnership and devotion. Singing to the horse was a good idea. And when Bill was done singing, he offered his horse freedom, but Lightning chose to stay with him. Oh, so now they're friends. Oh my goodness. With Pecos Bill and Lightning leading them, the cowboys whooped across the state of Texas, rounding up every last steer. That's a lot of cows. I can't even count how many there are. They seem to be everywhere. Whoa, all on the rocks, all across the plains. But their high spirits collapsed when they were faced with the job of driving that enormous herd back and forth between summer and winter ranges. To silence their grumbling, Bill set up a perpetual motion ranch on a pinnacle peak, which was so high that the top remained in winter while spring and autumn turned into summer at the base. So all they had to do is go up and down. I think that must be Pinnacle Peak. What do you think? Yep. So a team of prairie dogs helped Bill fence off the mountain so that the cattle could go and wander through the seasons unattended. And Bill's plan worked fine, except for Pinnacle Peak was so steep that the steers fell right off it whenever there was a stiff breeze. And the men had to work harder than ever carrying the cattle up and down the hill. There's the fence. There's the cattle trying to go up and down that steep hill, Pinnacle Peak. Oh, but then Bill solved the problem by inventing steers, those Texas Longhorns, with very short legs on one side of their body and and long legs on the other, so that they could stay on the side of the hill. Well, that was sort of a good idea, I guess. Even in a windstorm, these cattle could stand securely on the slope as long as they kept their short legs on the uphill side. Huh, that's amazing. They're falling down over here. They got short legs and long legs, so they're happy over here. Okay, whoa, gee. Now the men at Perpetual Motion Ranch had all kinds of free time, and Bill became known as the world's greatest cowboy. Whoa, but the high point of Bill's life came when Slewfoot Sue passed by on the back of a catfish. Oh, there she is, Slewfoot Sue. I wonder who she is. Bill was instantly fallen in love with her, and he hollered to her, "Please marry me." What? He only had seen her riding a catfish, and he goes, "Marry me." He must have really been in love. So Sue agreed on two conditions. First, Bill had to buy her a wedding dress with a bustle, and second, he had to let her ride Lightning. Lightning the horse? Ooh, that might be a problem. The first request was easy. Bill galloped to Dallas and bought back the fanciest bustle. There's a bustle right there. Wedding dress in the whole city. And Sue's second request was not so simple. although Slewfoot Sue was a first-rate rider. The moment her bustle touched the saddle, she was blasted off. Ooh, Lightning didn't want her to ride it. Look at that. Boing, 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 boing. She was blasted off skyward. I think that's what this is right here. Lightning kicked her up into the air. He didn't want anybody else to ride him. Sue soared around the moon and began the long descent to Earth. Whoa, that was a crazy bucking horse. Bucked her so high, she went around the moon. Just amazing. She landed squarely on her bustle, but quick as Bill was, he couldn't get to her before she bounced back into outer space. There he is. There she goes. Time and time again, Sue hit the ground and rocketed back toward the stars. Oh, oh my goodness. Sue probably would have sailed back and forth forever, but if Bill hadn't lassoed a tornado to help him catch his bouncing bride. So there's the snake rope lasso. There's the tornado. The pair of them clung to that careening storm until it blew itself out over California. And to Bill's amazement, he and Sue landed on top of his ma and pa's wagon train. They were still looking for a place to go. But that wasn't the only time that Bill lassoed a tornado. Some tell the story that a tornado storm came bigger than any other. It all happened during the worst drought of the West had ever seen. It was so dry that the horses and the cows started to dry up and blow away in the wind. So when Bill saw the windstorm, he got the idea. The huge tornado kicked across the land like a wild bronco, just like this one here that he lassoed to help him come down with Sue. Whoa, but Bill jumped on it without a thought, and he rolled the tornado across Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. All the time he squeezed the rain out of the storm, so it helped the drought on the land. And there they are, the second time he lassoed a tornado. They helped him blow themselves down out of the sky. They hung on to each other. They found Bill's parents' wagon train after so many years. Oh my goodness, he couldn't believe his kinfolk were still searching for a place to live and a homestead. He told them that they could spend the rest of their days roaming, but they'd never find a place equal to Texas. Everyone returned to Bill's ranch for a wing-ding of a family reunion, and today their descendants are still there, happily herding cattle. Wow, there we go. And there's kind of a map of everything that happened to Bill. when he chased lightning to the Arctic, and he rode the tornado, and he invented the first rodeo. And that's the end of my Pecos Bill story. And there's the crazy snake. Ta-da! All right, back to FaceTime camera. There we go. So Pecos Bill really had quite a life, didn't he? Started out being raised by coyotes. Arr! Tell you what, I want to hear a coyote howl out there. Hit your space bar. Can you howl with me? Arr! Well, we have a craft today, and it's a tornado in a jar. So to do the craft, you're going to need an empty jar. This one happens to be a peanut butter jar, or you could use a canning jar, anything with a tight-fitting lid. We're going to make a glitter tornado, so if you have a little bit of glitter, that'd be good, and some water, and some dish soap. So let's get started. I'm going to put Coyote down over here, and well, get this camera adjusted just a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so now you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing we're going to do is take the lid off. This is a nice, easy one. And we're going to pour some water in my jar till it's about 3/4 of the way full. You know, so Pecos Bill, he was out lassoing tornadoes. We're going to create a tornado in a jar. So I'm almost there, about halfway, 3/4 of the way up my jar. That's almost not quite to the lid. What do you think? Does that look like 3/4? It's about right up to here. So that should work. So the next thing I'm going to do is just put a couple of squirts of dish soap in there, not too much. So you can count with me. 1 squirt, 2 squirts. Ooh, that's probably good. And now for the glitter. So glitter can be a little bit messy. Whoops, can't get my lid off. So I'm going to try to spoon it in there with my little spoon. I have a teaspoon. Oh, that doesn't fit into the jar. So I use the other end. Okay, put some glitter in there. About a teaspoon of glitter. And that's my 1/8 of a teaspoon. So I'm going to put some more in there, because this is what's really going to make the tornado kind of glittery. There we go. One more. All right. So now we're going to replace the lid on my jar. Now I'm going to shake it up to mix it a little bit, because there's some glitter clumps in there. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more glitter in there. I don't know if I have enough glitter in there. Just going to pour some in there. Little bit more glitter. Okay. And okay, now here's where we can start to make a glitter tornado. So what you want to do is move it around in a circle. Circle, 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 circle. Get it all circling around. Whoops, I messed up. Circle, circle, circle. Circle, 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 circle. And then set it down and see if you can see a tornado starting to form in there. Oh, mine's really spinning down there. Almost. All right. I'm going to try doing this. I turn it upside down. Depending on the size of your glitter, too, I think it might work. Okay, so now let's see. I hope I was having better luck the other way. All right. I got mine spinning pretty good. I haven't gotten a tornado yet, but I've got sort of a circular sandstorm. There, let's see. Oh, I got one. I got a mini one. I don't know if you could see that. But anyway, that is our glitter tornado. And I think if I get this going, I'll finally get the trick and get my tornado going. Ooh, Sort of, I got a mini one down at the bottom of my jar. Anyway, so you can play with that. I hope you have some good luck getting your glitter tornado going. And thanks for joining us for the tall tale of Pecos Bill. Have a great day. Thanks for joining us on Storytime Adventure. Bye. I saw something I had never ever seen before. And here's where you get to make a choice. Was it a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex? And I'm just gonna stick some pine cones in my box, and then the fun starts. I just start rolling them around. The air rushing out of the balloon is gonna push that balloon up. So let's see what happens. All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. So that's how rockets kind of work. We are going to build 2 different kinds of rockets today.